At this point, you've probably had some type of interactions with artificial intelligence and with automation. And I hope at this point that you recognize the importance of technology and how much better it can be than humans in some instances. When you have a computer programmed the right way, it's going to do the same task the same way every time, and it frees you so that you don't have to do it. Think about when you're in Excel or Google Sheets and you put in a formula and it just plugs in the numbers, spits out the averages or the totals, and you don't have to think about adding those numbers. It's things like that that can be done inside of your agency to make it run more efficiently. And when you plug in automation and technology with a virtual assistant, it is a complete game changer. In this video, we're going to talk about building out the proper tech stack inside of your agency and pairing it with a virtual assistant so that your agency can run more smoothly and efficiently. All right, let's get right into it. So automating tasks. So how to combine virtual assistants and technology. So we'll get right into it. So what can be automated with the help of virtual assistants? Honestly, a lot. So we'll get started. So one, quoting new leads. You can have a virtual assistant trained to run quotes inside of your agency. So the way that my team did it inside of my agency, the Win Agency, is we did training videos inside of all the most common carriers that we worked with. So here is a quote on how to run a homeowner's quote in Travelers. Here's how to run a car insurance quote in Progressive, etc. I had these videos recorded already to give to my producers. So then when I started training virtual assistants, it was fairly easy. And then I recorded videos on how to use it. My raters, I was using PL rating. And so what I would recommend is just record short little videos. Honestly, 5 to 10 minutes should be fairly ideal because it's going to be a similar process for all of the different types of videos you're doing. So quoting new leads and then processing renewals. So again, a fairly similar process, but for renewals, there's the little switch up of, okay, you need to go into our agency management system every morning or into the CRM and the renewals pipeline and check for renewals. And then here's the process for going to pick which carriers you shop it in. And here's our process for shopping renewals. If it's over a 10% increase or whatever it is. You define your standard operating procedures for your agency, and then you go through and record those videos. But it should be a fairly simple process to delegate that to a VA. Then client success and lead nurturing. This is one that I don't hear a whole lot about, but it has provided the most value to myself, my agency, and a lot of clients that I work with. So for example, a lot of people, any agency is going to have a big pipeline of leads that you're working with. And you can have somebody just touching those leads. You can have automation doing that automatically, following up. But sometimes a human touch just adds a little bit more personal feel and is going to have some better success. But what I like to do is follow up with current clients. So this could be text, this could be emails or phone calls, depending on how much you trust your virtual assistant. But just a quick check-in. Hey, first name, I know you've been working with our agency for a little while. This is my first name. I just wanted to see how stuff's going. Is there anything I can help you with? Or, hey, I know that we handled a claim for you a few months ago. Is everything looking well? Is everything is the car working? Do you have any leaks in the roof, etc.? And then as long as that interaction goes positive, this person should be able to spin that conversation into getting a referral or getting a review. That's the whole goal of your client success manager, is to keep building the business. And so my CSM very easily pays for himself. And so I recommend a lot of people to add this position, and everyone I've worked with has had a lot of success with it. Next is going to be social media management. So all of us know that Facebook, Instagram, Meta, all of it is the way of the world, but we're not spending a whole lot of time there if we're running our business. And so delegating this to a virtual assistant is fairly easy. You can have somebody take over the tasks, and all it is just consistently posting. So they can get on Canva, they can make a free account, and they can just start putting out content that just keeps your company top of mind. Think about if you've Googled a business and then you didn't know who to work with, like you were trying to come up with an activity to do that day. And you Googled things to do near me, you found a company, you went to their Facebook page, and they've not posted in 6 years. you probably went on to call somebody else. They may still be open. So I would recommend just having consistent content there, regardless of how good it is, regardless of the interactions you get. If you can have somebody do this fairly affordably, I highly recommend it. Then data entry and reporting. So we all recognize the importance of checking numbers and tracking things inside of our agency, but most of us do a pretty bad job of it if we're being honest. So just having somebody create reports so that you can see at the end of a month, you can put your finger on the pulse of your agency and see how are things going. So some things I would recommend tracking: new leads, track referrals, track cancellations. So just the high points of your agency. Obviously, you can track premium and commissions and things like that, but these are the metrics that lead to those other pieces. And so I, every month, try to review the most important numbers inside of my agency so I can see how have things been the past month and how do we project things are going to go. And then finally, calendar and email management. So I recommend having somebody trained on how you like to have your email managed. So for example, you're probably going to have 6 different types of buckets inside of your email inbox. You may have client interactions, you may have underwriter interactions, you may have random policy questions, you may have the carrier correspondences, like the carriers just sending their marketing materials. And so if you make several buckets of, hey, when this type of email comes in, here's how you handle it, it's very easy to delegate that to someone else. And then another piece is calendar management. So for example, if you've got clients reaching out and want to meet with you, you can have your virtual assistant inside of your email, just booking those appointments for you. All you're trying to do is grab 5 and 10 minutes back here and there. But at the end of the day, if you've gained 2 hours, that's 10 hours a week. So that's a quarter of your work week added back very easily just by having one person that their sole job is just to free your mind to think about higher level tasks. So there's a lot of tools and softwares that I use and that I recommend clients to use. So we'll get into those. So first, a CRM with texting and email capability. Most good CRMs are going to have this, but you need to have the ability when you drag a lead between pipelines for texts and emails to go ahead and start going out. Like I've said in previous videos, most of insurance is C-level players, and to move the needle just a little bit doesn't take that much. So for example, I have tags inside of my pipeline for loan officer referrals. So whenever my virtual assistant drags a lead from quoting to quoted, it will send an email to me letting me know that the lead is ready to present, or it will send it to whichever producer is tagged in that pipeline. But if we also have a LO tag on it and we have a loan officer assigned, it will send an email to them. Hey, we just finished processing the quotes. It's going to be in your inbox shortly. If you need something, if you have any questions, please let me know. Hope you're having a great day. It's just that one extra little touch. And we also have texts that are going out to clients. So whenever a lead moves to presented, we have a full follow-up sequence over the course of the next 2 weeks to try and get them on a phone call with myself or my team to make sure we can close that sale. Or else we did all that work for nothing. Next, a form builder. So a lot of people use Jot forms, there's WordPress forms, there's various different softwares that you can use to build a form. All you're trying to do is intake data in a clean way. So you want to make sure that all of your data that goes in your AMS and your CRM is formatted the same way every time. So anytime I'm running a quote for a new client, either I send the form to them to fill out, or myself or my producer, when we're on the phone, we're filling out that form so that the same data comes in the same way every time. And it makes it very easy for virtual assistants to run quotes. It makes it easy for anybody to go into the CRM and quickly get to the information they need. It's all systematized and I highly recommend it. Next, Zapier for cross-app triggers. So essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to tie in your form builder. So any forms that you make, you want to make sure that they zap into the correct pipelines inside of your CRM and trigger the automation. So this keeps you from having to do any data entry. Zapier can also send you a notification whenever something's finished, and we're going to get more into that in a second. You can make sure that you're tying pieces in your AMS and your CRM. Zapier allows everything to communicate to save you time so that you're not entering information into multiple platforms. Then we need a task manager process. So for example, some CRMs are going to have the capability so that anytime a new lead moves pipelines, it will start tasks that need to be done. So for example, if you've got a lead being quoted right now in your sales pipeline and they move into the quoting stage so that somebody needs to work on that quote, you can have it set up tasks that your virtual assistant or your CSR checks off. So quote the home in this carrier, quote the home in this carrier, quote the home in this carrier. So you just check off all the pieces as they're going down. Or if you have an onboarding process, you need to make sure welcome email goes out. You need to make sure that apps are signed, and you need to make sure that this, that, and the other is completed, whatever your process is. But having a task manager so that you can easily see that all the tasks are being completed allows you as the owner of the agency to assume more of a CEO role. You can very easily get a pulse on the agency. You can see, is everything getting done? No, it's not getting done. Who's not completing it? Do I need to offer better training, or do I need to see about replacing this person? Or are they too overwhelmed? Do we need to bring in somebody else? It just allows you to make decisions so much more quickly because now you have data. And then 5, automated Google review requests. This is a minor one. It is not a must-have, but it's definitely a nice-to-have. So we all know that Google is the top search engine out there, and Google reviews are how so many people decide who they're going to work with. So they may search your agency and make sure you have good reviews, but also if they're searching car insurance near me and you've got the most Google reviews, you're going to rank higher on the page theoretically, and you're going to have a better chance at getting that client. So it's going to help your sales and help your retention long term. Next is balancing automation with oversight for quality control. So kind of the idea here is you can automate anything under the sun, but at some point you're going to lose quality. So how do we make sure that that doesn't happen? So first is clear standard operating procedures. You need to define very clearly what you want your agency to feel like. Like when a client works with you, how do they feel? You want to make sure that they're getting lots of interactions from your agency. The more touches they get, the more they're going to feel like, oh, these people are really on top of the ball. But it's catch-22 because if you're just sending them a text message every day, it's a bit excessive if it's just for car insurance because they really don't need you until they have a claim or until they have a question. So just get very intentional about what do I want the feel to be like, and then make sure that your virtual assistants and team members are following those steps. Then you need to have regular reviews and check-ins. You need to check in with your team and make sure, is everything getting completed? Is everything getting done? Do you have any questions? How do you think we can improve these pieces? Track performance. So key performance indicators are really the key here. So make sure that people are hitting the metrics that they need to be hitting. And then client feedback mechanisms. If you've got some VIB clients that you're just really close with, they can be friends or family members, have calls with them and say, hey, I need you to be brutally honest. Where are we missing the boat? What am I messing up? And how do we improve what we're currently doing? And then human touch for complex tasks. So there's going to be things that you can't automate no matter how much you want to. And so you just need to have a human for these. Sometimes it can be a virtual assistant. If it needs to be just a customized text message or email, you can have a VA doing this. If you need to get on the phone and talk coverage, now obviously this has got to be done by a licensed individual. You're going to know your agency better than I do, and you'll know where these pieces are that you need. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to my team. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and we will see you on the next episode on how we can help continue improve your agency. If you got any questions, visit our website, agencyaid.com. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for being a part of this series where we talked about getting quick wins with virtual assistants. If you have any other questions, click the link below in this video, schedule a free consultation with my team. We'd love to answer any questions you have, help you build strategies, and help you build the roadmap to growing the agency of your dream. Again, thanks for following along. Click the subscribe button, like and comment. Let us know what else you would like for us to help with, and we will see you in the next video.